Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm gonna talk to you about the updates on multifocal IOLs. I don't have any financial interest in any of the subjects mentioned in this presentation. Multifocal IOLs are essential component of the modern phaco-refractive surgery. They provide improvement in the patient lifestyle, and the success of the cataract surgery nowadays is judged by the visual quality and the degree of spectacle independence we can provide after the cataract surgery. Monofocal IOLs provide an excellent visual quality for distance because they transmit 100% of the light energy to a single focus inside the eye. However, this lens does not provide presbyopia correction, and the patient needs to address reading by reading glasses. On the other hand, the multifocal IOLs provide a decent degree of presbyopia correction. They work by splitting the light rays into two main foci, one for distance and other for near. And the principle of action is the simultaneous perception. So the patient can simultaneously have a clear focus one at a time, at distance or at near. A different optical designs have been developed with the multifocal IOLs for the last 2 decades. We have the diffractive and refractive, and the diffractive optics is the most commonly used. However, these lenses are associated with some compromises. Those compromises, especially assigned for the diffractive multifocal lenses, can be categorized into two main categories. First is the limited functionality in the form of insufficient intermediate vision. Second is the compromised visual quality because of the nighttime halos and glare, and the reduced contrast sensitivity. Actually, those lenses are bifocal lenses, are not multifocal lenses because they split the light rays into only two foci inside the eye, one assigned for distance, as we mentioned before, and the other for near. So these lenses sacrifice the intermediate vision at intermediate distance between 60 to 80 centimeters. And in literature, this has been documented that these bifocal lenses sacrifice the intermediate vision. On the other hand, because of the diffractive optics and the principle of action, which is simultaneous perception, patients usually complain of nighttime halos and glare. And the source of this compromise is the simultaneous perception, which is the basics for the action of this kind of lenses. They split the light rays into two main foci, one for distance and other for near. And each focus will superimpose a blurred image on the other focus. So the patient experience reduced visual quality in the form of nighttime halos and glare. And because of the diffractive optics, these lenses split the light rays into two main foci. There are loss of the light energy into useless foci inside the eye, and estimated that 19% of the light energy is lost inside the eye. So the patient complains of reduced contrast sensitivity all the time for distance as well as for near. To address this limited functionality and reduced quality of vision, we have the new trifocal lenses had emerged in the market. They try to address improve the intermediate vision and improve as well the visual quality. For example, we have the fine vision trifocal lens, which has two diffractive elements instead of one diffractive element. One diffractive element is assigned for intermediate and the other diffractive element is assigned for near vision. In order to improve the visual quality, the lost light energy from the first diffractive element assigned for intermediate vision has been used and utilized for the second diffractive element assigned for near vision. So this lens has a proprietary design in order to reduce the light energy loss and to invest this light energy loss from one diffractive element to be useful for the reading tasks. So and at the same time, instead of having only distance and near focus, these lenses provide a decent degree of functional vision at intermediate distance. And as you can see, the trifocal lens, the focus curve of the trifocal lens of the fine vision in blue, you can see three humps, one for distance and the other for intermediate and finally for near. In comparison to the EDOF lens in red, you can see two humps, only one for distance and the other for intermediate. And the traditional bifocal lens, or let's say the multifocal lenses, we have only two humps in green, one for distance and the other for near, which sacrifices the intermediate vision. In order again to improve the quality of vision, distance and intermediate, and sacrifice the near vision. This lens is diffractive trifocal lens, but more biased toward the intermediate vision. So as you can see here, the focus curve of this lens, uh, instead of the fine vision, we have the distance, intermediate, and near. And with the triumph lens, we have again distance, but more biased toward the intermediate and reduce the light energy assigned for near vision. So this lens is mainly biased for the intermediate vision in comparison to the trifocal lens, the traditional fine vision trifocal lens. Another optical principle is by adding a third diffractive element. So in theory, the lens with a three diffractive element is a quadrifocal lens, but the third diffractive element has been truncated to direct the light rays again back to the distant focus in order to improve the visual quality at distance, especially at dim light. So this is the main principle of the panoptics lens. It has three diffractive elements, but one of the diffractive elements has been truncated, so it's called 2 plus, two diffractive elements plus. So again, the lens has two diffractive elements, one for distance, one for intermediate, and the other for near. And the third truncated diffractive element is assigned mainly to direct the light rays back to the distant focus. So these split the light rays into 50% for distance, and the 50% is divided equally between near and intermediate distances. This lens is pupil independent because of the optical design and can provide distant light energy for constant light energy for distant focus at photopic and mesopic condition. And this is the theoretical defocus curve of the panoptics lens. This lens can provide decent degree of functional vision at intermediate as well as near vision. Another new concept is to combine the multifocal diffractive lens with the EDOF diffractive lens, which is called the hybrid lens. And this is the basic principle of the synergy lens. So we have here the synergy, the Technis multifocal lens, which is a bifocal lens with different aids. And now we can combine this lens with the EDOF lens, which is the symphony lens. The symphony lens is a diffractive EDOF lens. Instead of splitting the light rays into two different foci, they direct the light rays into a series of foci across the retina to extend the depth of focus. So by combining both principles, we can extend the depth of focus of the hybrid lens into distance, intermediate, and continuous for near. In order to improve the visual quality, this lens address again the chromatic aberration by having a high AB number to compromise for the reduced contrast safety commonly associated with the diffractive multifocal lenses. So in conclusion, the new trifocal lens improved the functionality by adding a third focus to address the intermediate vision, and the new optical designs reduced the visual dysphotopsias commonly associated with the former multifocal lenses. Thank you very much for your attention.